Well, all the formalities have been completed. Everything has been said that possibly could be said. And now here we are, ready for NC State to drop the puck on their ACCHL Admirals Cup tournament run. They will be playing the number 8 seed Charlotte 49ers. In goal for the Niners, it is going to be Daniel Ritter, even though he is wearing a different number. He's wearing the number 33 of Daniel Toland, but it will be Ritter, Patterson, New Jersey native, standing at 5'9". He will be opposed by the freshman goaltender Joey Hall on the opposite end. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this one, and away we go from Charlottesville. Quickly brought ahead and into the zone by Usinger. He loses the puck to Jimenez and quickly back the other way. Banishevitz off with good speed through the neutral zone. Sends a wrist shot. Rebound opportunity. Lecter, the defenseman, was charging in. Couldn't quite catch up to it in time. Lecter into the corner. Backhand to forehand movement. Can't deke out everybody. He's dispossessed. Away go the Niners. Laid quickly forward. This is going to be offsides as it hit Usinger, but it was not touched up in the opposite trip by Eric White. Quickly forward. Stretches too far for Banishevitz. This will be scooped up by Eric Murrah. State going out after the puck. Good pressure here on Thomas Gilmartin. He's no stranger to playing in the South. Played with the East Coast Eagles franchise when they were the East Coast Eagles before changing their name to Carolina in the years to follow. Back down low is Gilmartin, causing all sorts of havoc. Sends it right back down low. Into the corner goes. Pass across the way. Joey Hall with the glove save going across the goal crease. That's unbelievable.
Wow, good heads-up play by Joey Hall there. It seemed like he was having a tough time against the Demon Deacons last week, but coming out firing. Look at that.
That might be the save of the year for the young freshman goaltender, and what a way to open things up with 19:04 to go in this first period. Gilmartin with a heads-up pass in towards center, but it wasn't able to go home. Fredenberg with speed down the lane. He's dispossessed on the way through by Kyle Gettley, the Raleigh native. Into the corner it goes. Off the inboards, Blue coming in to support the puck. Fredenberg doing yeoman work as he fires down for Blue. Up to the point. Chris Wing, the sophomore, sends it right back down low. Going after it here is Garrett Sunday. He's got it back up for Wing. Long wrist shot through traffic, blocked on the way through. Reed Farrat pokes that one all the way back down. Off of a couple of skates. Gettley trying to clear it out to safety. Sunda, the team captain, holds it in. Garrett Sunda doing yeoman's work, trying to split the defense, is unable to do so. Quickly back up for Alex Thomas. He just touches it into the zone. The NC State defense will take over. Move quickly up and forward now. Wing gains the red line, dumps it in. Stray glove out of the ice. Since both teams have black mitts, I can't tell you who it belongs to. Ryan Kinney out. Kinney steps into one, forges it right back down low. He's playing in for Thomas Chapman, who did not make the trip as a healthy scratch. We'll get to more on the roster notes in a moment. Mike Krenn steps into one. That was blocked on the way through. Good play and a big shoulder laid into Greg Driscoll as he goes down low. Bly lays another hit onto Usinger. Valillo looking like he wanted to spin. Pardon, it was Kristoff instead. He'll go in and lay another body check. The Mighty Mouse doing yeoman's work to the point. Quick slap shot blocked on the way through. Could spring a 2-on-1 if NC State hurries. Ritter's going to get there, and he'll melt it down with a little bit of help from Sean Lappin. It was interesting to look at the rosters. I'm going to call you Chris because I'm so used to having Chris Lehman next to me. Nick, it was interesting to look at the rosters because Matt Valillo is not dressed tonight. Ryan Zibatelli and Thomas Chapman did not make the trip, so most likely what you're looking at is Mike Krenn will be the 6th defenseman up there, and Ryan Kinney's probably going to step in as the forward. Long shot through traffic. Batted down legally with the glove by the Niners. Charlotte onto the puck here. Zach Klein going after it, loses it into the corner. Up at the point, held in by the senior Bly. Wrist shot, it looked like he fanned on it a little bit. Up at the blue line, State able to hold for the time being. NC State in the black uniforms with the white numericals, red trim. Charlotte in their white uniforms, green numericals, gold trim. Charlotte sends it all the way out, just wrists it into Joey Hall, who's going to grab it with the glove, and Philip Arnold takes a shove from Mike Krenn as the whistle is blown as the puck is covered up.
See, it doesn't look like Charlotte can generate much offense here. Wolfpack came out flying down the ice. It seems we've seen a different Wolfpack team that we saw last week in Winston against the Demon Deacons.
Well, that Usinger line seems to have enough speed to at least be able to keep up with NC State, but since they went off the ice, the Niners are having a whole lot of trouble being able to get some free-form offense skating it down the ice as Joey Hall covers it again. Good pressure on the way through. Can't pick up the number. That was Not Michael Anderson. That was Mike Aquila instead, who forged down low. Aquila's one of those guys who does have the propensity to find himself in front of the net. That makes him a solid forward. Bieberdorf loses the puck out through center. Big hit crossing center ice on Maragno. This will be picked right back up by Banishevitz. Dumped into the zone. Marango. Cook now onto it. Finds his defense partner. NC State having a little bit of trouble with the breakout. Finally, they're able to get the puck. Stretch pass all the way up for Banishevitz. He can't touch it. Pardon, it was for Jimenez. Banishevitz was the one sending the pass. This will just be laid up and forward. Tipped into the zone. Joey Hall directing his traffic. Cook onto it. Sends it across the way for Jimenez. All the way out for Banishevitz. He's got a little bit of space. Down deep into the corner, Banishevitz with a rolling puck on his stick. Drops it back. Slap shot on the way through traffic. Good stop by Ritter. He'll hang on.
Good stop by Ritter there. He's definitely been tested early by the Pack due to their explosive offense, but he's standing still. He's doing well. Standing his ground.
Face off to the blocker side of the Charlotte netminder. Drop back now. Wings got it. Fires his shot. Picked right back up in toward the front of the net. Traffic in front. Nobody can find the puck. Finally, the Niners corral it. Nearest to their own bench. At the blue line, Danny Blue hangs on to it. He's got far out up top, trying to spin it back down low. Instead, it's going to be the Niners. Stretch play. This is going to be icing, but the Niners are able to beat it out. Good work by Usinger. Right back up is Garrett Sunda for Danny Blue. Fredenberg now winds up, fires a slap shot, blockered into the corner. Good stop. Out into neutral ice, away go the Niners. Picked right back up by NC State. Looked like one giant game of pong between the blue lines right now. Finally, the Niners corral it. Good stick lift. Philip Arnold breaks free. And he goes. Pass across the way. Stretches a little too far as Gil Martin spins a shot back. Good stop by Joey Hall as he steers it over and into the corner. All the way back down the ice. This is going to be icing against the Wolfpack. And the officials will make sure that there is no change on the state bench. Of note, it was a misannouncement by myself. Daniel Toland is in net for the Niners, I do believe. For those of you watching at home in Charlotte, if you have any information on the goaltending situation, please comment on our YouTube feed, and we will get that relayed to you quickly. It looks like Ritter's pads, but I can tell you for certain it's Toland's number. Toland is the one to make the save there with the glove hand. It's been good speed by NC State. They've been able to find a way to put shots on net, but right now, Charlotte's doing what they like to do, and they're pushing everything to the outside, so NC State hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities to go into the slot area. Lifted high, a little bouncing puck, won't reach the goal line. Play will continue. Abbo Oliver with the puck. Sidesteps a couple of body checks. This will be the penalty here.
Vicious by Kren there, but ref made the right call.
That's going to be a cross check onto Michael Kren, and I suppose you could make the argument for holding the stick. However, it was not called. It wasn't egregious by any stretch of the means. Mike Kren's hit, however, was. So Kren will take a seat in the box. First penalty called of the game. Into the corner, boards. Picked right back up. Steered along as Greg Driscoll goes after it, up to the point. Held long shot through traffic. That was blocked aside as Eric Murrah sent the shot. He's the team captain for the 49ers. On the inboards, now down to the corner. Green and gold controls. Up to the point, long shot through traffic and wide. Murrah coming in. He takes a shot from Fredenberg. Puck jostles free. Bouncer up at the blue line, held by Usinger as he fires it right back down low. Simon Lecter picks up the puck. He's hound dogged, spins out of some trouble, tries to wrist it down, held in miraculously by Murrah. Did it twice, somehow held it in. into the feet of Greg Driscoll as Eric Murrah was a magician there to hold that puck in. Unfortunately for him, he can't keep that one in, but it ricochets off of Bieberdorf's glove out of play into the state bench. What a play by Eric Murrah. In.
Yeah, talk about handles there. Jeez, how did he not lose control of that one?
1:08 to go in the penalty. 13:24 to go in the period. NC State could have a shorthanded opportunity. McDonald with all the speed he can muster, and it's just sent right back by Gelletley. You might recognize that name if you're an NC State fan. It was Matt Gelletley in the North Carolina Tar Heels who ended the pack run for an Admirals Cup last year in Annapolis, Maryland by a final count of 5-4. It was not Gelletley directly who was responsible for that. Instead, it was A.J. Hamel with 4 goals and an assist. McDonald this time has a shorthanded opportunity. Here he goes. Sidestepped his man, but forgot the puck in the process. Back behind the net, Charlotte survives with a half-minute remaining in their power play. We're still scoreless in the first period from Main Street Arena in Charlottesville, Virginia. Drew Blevins and Nick Sinopoli with you for Wolfpack Sports Television's coverage of the ACCHL Admirals Cup. Danny Blue into the corner. A little backhand pass up the blue line. Here come the Niners. Just dumped in to the zone by Aquila, and it'll be Joey Hall to field that in his chest and hang on.
Unfortunate missed opportunity there by Jack McDonald. It just seems like he made a mental mistake, but UNC caught a break on that one.
Well, the penalty kill has done well so far, but they still have 5 more seconds to deal with. Bounce pass into the slot area. That'll be picked right back up. The penalty is killed. Farhat sends it up off of the lineswoman. Yes, you heard me correctly, the lineswoman. Banishevitz sends that one right back down low. This is NC State's first encounter with a female linesman this season, believe it or not. There are a couple in the Raleigh area. Banishevitz picks up the puck, and we'll have a signal from back behind. And I'm not sure what this one's going to be for. It looked like clearly State had touched the puck.
Not sure what's going on down there. It seems something out of our...
I thought he was about to whistle for too many men. Well, it looked, I believe it's going to be called, I don't know what it's going to be called. I saw no signal or infraction there, so I'm going to chalk it up to a mistake whistle. Nonetheless, the faceoff stayed in the NC State offensive zone, and that's where they have possession right now. Off the side goal. Interestingly enough, it is the most esteemed officials from the host area, to finish up the point about the linesman on the far side. It's the most esteemed officials in the area that are allowed to officiate these games, so you better believe that every official here is going to be skilled. Jimenez shoots one, scored! Luis Jimenez! Right through the wickets of Toland, and it's the North Carolina State Wolfpack with a 1-0 lead.
Great pass there by Banishevitz across the slot.
Well, how do you like that? Just as soon as they kill off the penalty, it's Jimenez, who hasn't scored in seemingly forever, finally getting one to go from Banishevitz. Packer off and running.
Great start for the Wolfpack here, Drew. Jimenez with a good confidence booster after kind of a slump in the goals department.
That goal comes with 11:27 to go in the period. Great boost for NC State. Right into Joey Hall, who covers things up. Again, that's Jimenez from Banishevitz. 8:33 into the period. Even strength goal. Well, that's what you wanted to see, your top line generating the offense, and it's going to be very difficult for the Niners to play from behind. They are capable of doing so. It was NC State drawing first blood on both occasions these two teams have met, and both times it was Charlotte tying things up right toward the front, swept it, it won't go! A gaping 4x6 for Andrew Miller, who was the ACCHL Player of the Week, and he fanned on it. That's one he'd like to have back.
Seemed like he didn't see the puck even coming there, kind of an unexpected play, but Joey Hall was there to prevent the goal.
This is going to be called a hand pass as the bouncing puck careened off of Andrew Miller's glove, which does constitute a hand pass, the forward motion and advancement of the puck with the glove. That's why the faceoff is coming outside. Blue splits a couple of defenders, bounces this one in. Still send it down low. Charlotte picks up the puck. Gilmartin has it, and we're going to see a call made from the back official, and it's going to be a slash. That's going to be assessed to Turner Schroll, the Charlotte native, the defenseman for the Niners. And NC State's about to go on the power play, and they could really alleviate some pressure by scoring one here.
The Pack have been great on the power play this year, Drew. This is a great opportunity for the Pack to pull ahead and stay there.
Bieberdorf swiping at it, moved up to the point. Simon Lecter steps in, forges it right back down low. Bouncer up for Banishevitz once again, and he'll turn it low. Back up for Sam Banishevitz. He'll hold and sends it into the corner boards. Down low, Banishevitz toward the front. Swipe that rebound opportunity. Charlotte can't clear. Slap shot from the point. Great blocker save by Toland. He'll keep it at 1-0 for now, and the Niners clear. Lecter over the blue line with it. Steps in. The defenseman leading the rush in front. Bieberdorf. Good defense on the Bieberdorf attempt at the one-timer. NC State's going to slow things down now. Banishevitz onto the puck, sends one down low, shot through traffic, rimmed around the boards. Lecter will hold. He'll move it all the way across the ice. Cook sends a wrist shot through traffic, may have been deflected, nonetheless goes wide. Lecter to the point, holding one, zips one over for Banishevitz, wrist shot off angle, good stop by Toland. Back in front, Banishevitz scored! Puts it into the short side, and Sam Banishevitz has one to his resume, and it's 2-0 Wolfpack.
Where's the reason he's the MVP of the ACCHL this year, Drew? Great things I see from the Wolfpack here. Playing to their strengths, going off on the power play.
That goal comes 10:07 into the period. We'll have the assist coming for you shortly. That's a power play goal on the slashing penalty to Schroll. And the Niners need to find some offense, but it's not coming here as Kenny steps his way into the zone. Pass goes down low. Could be another chance. Kenny in front. Shows one save. Rebound. Hacked at. Great stop by Toland. Stretched out the leg pad and was able to make a couple of saves. We've absolutely got to love that. Toland hanging in strong. No telling how many shots he's faced already this period. Well, there is telling because you're keeping shot count, but I'm not going to ask you to tally them up right now. Into the corner. The digging continues. Just one large pile of people right now as they try to move the puck. Unable to do so. Finally worked back toward the front. Across the way. Oliver hacking at it. Everybody in front. The Niners somehow survive. All the way out past center. In Charlotte will be very grateful just to put that in front. Oh dear. Charlotte was changing. That puck took an awkward curl and went right back in toward the front of Joey Hall. Carried back by the sizable defenseman Gil Martin as he goes for the cross-corner dump in. Worked around as Gallagher with the long reach just sends it up for McDonald. Curled up ice. Tyler Alfonsetti was looking to get over but lost the puck. Senior defenseman Bly curls it around for Kren. Picked back up near the blue line. State's going to be able to get it out. Falling to make the play to Gallagher. Here goes Gallagher. Quick shot. Blocked on the way through. Good defense. You can't really fault positioning for Charlotte as Toland will reach out and cover it up. That will not count as a shot on goal. But NC State's just been there, and they've come out and they've started strong, which is something we talked about that they needed to do.
Yeah, for sure. I know you just asked about the goals and or the shots on goal, and I just counted them up for you. Right now, I'm about 18. So NC State has come out firing.
Kren, long shot through traffic, a little bouncer, nearly beat Toland to the 5-hole. Instead, this is going to be picked right back up by the Niners, and away they go. Green and gold crossing the line. Good hit laid on to Marengo. Back behind the net. Fredenberg bounces one off the boards. This is going to stretch. Sunda beats out the icing call. Tried to move it in front for Blue. It's going to be picked right back up by Charlotte instead. Lecter goes in, lost his man. Here comes Charlotte. 2-on-1 in. Pats across. Takedown. And it's going to be a penalty against the Wolfpack. As Marengo takes exception to Danny Blue. But nonetheless, that play may have saved a goal. If there's such thing as a smart penalty, that was one.
Right.
But Blue will take a seat.
Right. Not a bad penalty there by Blue. It was 2-on-1. The only thing he could do was throw his body in front of the UNC Charlotte defenseman, and unfortunately that does give a power play opportunity for the 49ers.
Eric White wins the face-off directly back, and that's laid down by Gellatley. Cleared almost immediately by the Wolfpack, and they'll kill some time as Tolan puts it on a tee. NC State 1 for 1 on the kill tonight, as they killed off the prior penalty to Michael Kren for cross-checking. Hard off of Gellatley's glove. Banashevitz is there, takes a spill into the boards. That's going to free up a little bit of time and space for Charlotte. Driscoll goes over for one of his defensemen. A bouncing puck finds its way to Gellatley. Pass nearly intercepted, but batted back for Cook. All legal. They'll fire it into open space all the way down the ice. Last time NC State was playing in Main Street Arena was last year in the regular season when they came up and defeated the James Madison Dukes 4-3 in overtime. Cook has this one, sends it all the way across. Banashevitz was cherry-picking and nearly found himself recipient of a breakaway pass. Just moved it in front. Could be dangerous, as now it will be the Niners who have enough space to start an attack. 50 seconds to go in the Charlotte power play. State gets it out. Here goes Banashevitz across the blue line with a quick wrist shot, blocked on the way through. Good defensive positioning by the captain, Murrah. Wing with it. Drops it back. Reed Farhat takes it. He'll wrist it all the way down. Charlotte has not been able to get the puck in their possession into the offensive zone since the 3-second mark into this power play. Finally they do. This is Philip Arnold. Loses the puck. Bieberdorf takes it from one of his line mates. Works up quickly. McDonald nearly had a huge hit laid on him by Murrah. Behind, a little bounce in front. Bieberdorf's got it. Send it all the way back down, effectively killing the penalty as Blue comes out of the box. Charlotte onto the puck here. Quickly up and forward. Laid into the zone, a little bouncer. McDonald picks it up. Sends it all the way back down. Delayed offside. Pardon, it will be icing instead. It looked like Oliver at least had the opportunity to go down and be out the icing call, but nonetheless, it is icing against NC State. 5:14 to go in the first period. Goals by Jimenez and Banashevitz have given NC State the 2-0 lead. Aquila digging after the faceoff. Moved it over for Reedy. Instead, this is going to be taken by the Wolfpack, though. McDonald over the blue line, offside. That time it was Abo Oliver one step ahead, and McDonald seems to be having a little bit of trouble controlling the puck, which isn't something that he normally has an issue with.
Yeah, McDonald first had a little trouble with down there in the slot, had an opportunity to get a shot on the goal, but he just lost it right there. Offsides penalty. I mean, he's a little nervous, probably. A big stage here in the Admirals Cup tournament.
Stick lift will free up Oliver as he tries to fire one. Took an awkward fall. Farhat keeps the line. Kristoff after the puck. He's got it. Sends it down low. Chased after by Oliver. Good play by the Charlotte defense in tandem to get this puck out. Driscoll over the blue line with it as he backhands that one all the way across for White. Thrown right back toward the front. Joey Hall makes the blocker stop. Farhat picks it up, sidesteps his man, and away go the Wolfpack. Kinney lays it all the way ahead. Kristoff chugging after it, beats the icing. Back behind the net. Charlotte picks it up. Trying to get it out past the blue line. They're going to work out wide. This is going to be tipped by Bly off of the Duke banner across the ice from us, and that's out of play, of course. 4:16 to go in this first period. Nick, what do you make of it so far? I mean, it seems like NC State has a lot of momentum going their way, but still only 2 goals on the board.
Yeah, for sure. And I think something's really going on with Charlotte here. The first game we saw them play in the Raleigh Iceplex, they were kind of shooting it as soon as they got it. It seems like they're doing the same thing here, but difference is they aren't getting that many shots.
Gellatley banks it off the boards for Gilmartin as he sends it all the way out wide. Charlotte just trying to find a way to really get something going, but their puck movement just hasn't been there so far this period. They're going to want to eschew this one from memory as quickly as possible and try to finish with a strong 40 minutes. Back behind the boards, right back in front, dangerous play. Toland on top of it, he'll make the stop and hang on.
Good heads-up play by Tolan there. About succeeded another goal to the Wolfpack.
Well, going up 3-0 for NC State would almost spell certain doom for the Niners. The Wolfpack do like to play ahead. Only have had a few technical come-from-behind victories. Most of their victories have been by fair margins. The closest I can think of were against Virginia Tech, ranked at the time number 10. And then against the Clemson Tigers in overtime, 5-4. Fredenberg quickly dumps it in. He's got Sunda going out and into the near side corner. You see it there. Sunda going out after it. A little bouncer. Curled back around off of the kick plate. Good work by the Niners as they're using feet and sticks to try to move that one in front. Fredenberg fans on the one-timer attempt as NC State just managed to get one good whack onto the puck. Lecter picks up the puck here, backhands it along. It'll be picked up by Sunda, and away he goes. Sunda driving in. He's tripped up on the play. No penalty there. Arms up on the NC State bench. Not sure how that one was not called, but Andrew Cook will regroup to Simon Lecter. Dumped quickly into the zone. Bieberdorf looking for it, waiting for that puck to get to him. It comes back out to the neutral zone. He's dispossessed. In come the Niners. Marengo rubbed off by Cook. Bieberdorf digging out with him. Using her right there. Marengo trying to get up to his feet. Hack and whack time down low continues. All sorts of pushing and shoving. Worked over back toward the front of the net as White sent the one-timer on that Joey Hall steered away. Bieberdorf off and running. He's the only person on this line without a point. Bieberdorf works his way and shoots one. Good stop by Tolan, and he'll hang on with a glove.
Ooh, good save by Tolan there, top right at the post, but he snatches it pretty easily.
The presumed start time of NC State's matchup, should they win, would be 5:30 or 6 p.m. tomorrow night. They will either play the North Carolina Tar Heels or the Duke Blue Devils if Duke pulls off the upset. And, of course, that is premature information. NC State still has quite some time to go as they scored! Cook off of the draw, wrists one in, 3-0 Wolfpack!
Ooh, that one snuck in there. Didn't really have a good view of it due to the post here in Main Street Arena, but what a shot by Cook. Didn't even see that one coming, to be honest, Drew.
Beat Tolan, high glove, short side, and it's a field goal for the Pack. Just as soon as I was about to wrap up my analysis of what could come, nobody expected that one to go in, including, I think, Andrew Cook. But nonetheless, it is now a 3-goal for NC State as a late period 17:58 into the period. It's another even strength goal. NC State smells the blood, looking for the kill as Banishevitz has it. Backhands this one along. A little bouncer over for Jimenez now to Bieberdorf. He tried to move it up for Banishevitz. Murrah got a stick to it, and it's back out to neutral ice. Lecter for Bieberdorf now. Finds Banishevitz. Here he goes. Pass across again. Jimenez shoots one. Oh, my stars! Call the police! Highway robbery was just committed by Daniel Tolan. I don't know how he made that save.
Tolan just he had an amazing save there. Looked for sure that shot by Jimenez was going straight into the net. Looks like Charlotte caught another break instead of being down 4-0. They're still at 3-0.
That's simply outstanding goaltending. Jimenez received the pass from Banishevitz. It was a good, solid push over from Tolan, but then the deke from Jimenez, and I thought surely that puck was about to go in. But no, the Charlotte netminder keeps it 3-0 for now. Dumped in down low. White going after it. The center iceman moves it up. Ryan Kinney chops it down. And play has slowed. Nobody blew a whistle. I was about to say I didn't hear a whistle, but everybody froze for a moment. Something must have been heard down at ice level. Play will continue. Moved across, calling for the puck. Oliver shoots one. Good stop by Tolan. Had a little bit of help from a block from Eric White. It was a little bit gimpy getting up off the ice, and he'll get up fine. Well, ever since scoring that goal from Cook, NC State has been down in the Charlotte defensive zone for seemingly ever. Picked back up in the skates as Greg Driscoll sends that one all the way out wide. Bouncer up off the end boards. White picks it up. Steers his way across, trying to go for a centering pass, intended for Usinger. Farah trying to get it out. White dispossesses him. Swept back off the back of the net. Joey Hall loses his mask in front, and he's calling for the whistle. Finally gets one. And Hall will pick up his cage. And they just called delay of game on Joey Hall. Hall had his mask knocked off of his head, and they've called delay of game on him.
The NC State bench is not happy at all. Fredenberg needs to get back on the ice. I don't know what he's doing there.
He's the alternate captain. Since he wears the letter, he can talk to the official about it. Joey Hall's right. He didn't knock his own mask off. It's delay of game if the goaltender knocks his own helmet off. But if he doesn't, then it should be an automatic whistle.
Yeah, that's the first questionable call the refs have made tonight. But that was Joey Hall's mask was definitely knocked off.
That's not only poor. That's just simply incorrect.
Correct.
You stay away from criticizing the officials as a broadcaster, but that's just simply the incorrect call in that situation. But nonetheless, NC State does have to go back on the penalty kill, 2 for 2 tonight. Joey Hall assessed with the delay of game penalty. And with only a few seconds remaining in this period, it looks like it is going to carry over. McDonald now picks it up. He's hooked from back behind, works his way through. Only a few seconds to go up at the point, and that's where the buzzer's going to sound. Looks like there's a little bit of a skirmish going on by the Charlotte bench. Everybody's going to skate away.
Creighton decided to take a little extra shot there after the whistle, and the Charlotte bench wasn't too happy about that.
Well, NC State will exit to the rear of their bench. They will have a minute 33 to kill off a remainder penalty to Joey Hall for delay of game. But it has been an outstanding frame for the Wolfpack as at the end of one, they are up by a count of 3-0. Coming up, we'll have a little bit of intermission analysis of what we saw during the first period. Myself and Nick Sinopoli will be on camera with you. We hope you'll join us for that. And then we'll have the second period to follow. You're watching the ACCHL Admirals Cup Tournament and NC State Hockey on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack. Welcome back to Main Street Arena, Charlottesville, Virginia. Drew Blevins alongside Nick Sinopoli. First intermission time as it's the North Carolina State Wolfpack who have taken a stranglehold on the Charlotte 49ers at the end of one by a count of 3-0. Really, it's been an offensive onslaught for NC State. Charlotte hasn't had any answer. What do you make of the Pack offense?
Well, the Pack offense is really explosive. A different team we saw last week against the Demon Deacons with that unfortunate 8-7 loss. You can definitely tell that their puck movement is a lot better. They kind of got used to the short rink here. But what they've definitely done is 22 shots on goal. Incredible. I mean, they're just on the other side of the ice the entire time. They're really pressuring Tolan there throughout the first period.
Well, the offense has come from sources that we're used to seeing it come from. It's the top line of Bieberdorf, Banishevitz, and Jimenez, as well as Andrew Cook, who has just taken the lead in defenseman scoring. I want to talk about that Cook goal, though. That seemed to be a surprise shot on Tolan that really caught him off guard. What'd you make of that?
Well, I mean, it was just, I didn't expect it either, Drew. I could tell that Cook just saw a great opening and didn't see that Tolan really saw it coming at all. I think it was a little unexpected that he was taking it so far back up, almost at the blue line.
And finally, we will talk about the Charlotte 49ers. 8 shots on goal. It wasn't a bad period. It looked like especially guys like Zach Usinger and Philip Arnold had enough speed to compete with the Wolfpack. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to find a way to put anything in the back of the net. So that leaves me with a question. If you're the Charlotte 49ers head coach, what are you telling them right now?
Well, first of all, tell them to settle down. I know they are down 3-0, but they've come back from leads like this before. Last time they played the Wolfpack, they came back from a 2-1 deficit. But if I'm the UNC Charlotte coach, I tell them to settle down and to work on the puck movement a little bit. It seems that as soon as they get the puck, they're shooting it right away. If they work on their puck movement and get Joey Hall to move around, that should bode well for them.
Well, that's our first period analysis here on Wolfpack Sports Television. Puck drop to follow shortly after the Zamboni break. You're watching NC State Hockey on Wolfpack Sports Television. We're ready for puck drop here from Main Street Arena. Second period, NC State holding the lead over the Charlotte 49ers 3-0. They do have just under a minute and 30 seconds to kill off a remainder penalty time after Joey Hall was whistled for a phantom delay of game after his mask was forced off of his head. The officials said it was an intentional play. So this could give Charlotte an advantage. Of course, it will on the man advantage, but they need to find a way to put the puck in the back of the net, Nick.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as I said during the intermission, Charlotte's really got to work on their puck puck movement, but seems like this is a good opportunity for them to build some momentum and get back in this game.
Philip Arnold will take the puck out here for the Niners as he'll move it right back up quickly ahead for Miller. Kicks it around to his stick. Loses the puck there, though, as it'll go over and into the corner. NC State manages to find a way to grab the puck all the way down. That'll bounce just wide of the net. Gellatley is going to lose the foot race initially. Just has to do a baseball whack at it. Lifted up. White across the line with it. Fires it across the way. Deflected wide of the cage. Usinger onto the puck for Charlotte, but he wasn't able to force a dispossession as it's cleared by the Wolfpack. Tolan just lays it over and ahead on the blue line, lifted up, good body check laid on the way through by Driscoll onto the puck. Charlotte finally holding a good solid possession. Slap shot through traffic. That one off of Joey Hall and wide. 5 seconds to go in the penalty. State only a few seconds away from being back to even strength and 3-on-3 on the penalty kill, and they are. Up at the point, Gellatley down on the kick plate, wristed over for Joey Hall, and he makes the save with his blocker. Into the corner, Hall diving out, and he will gladly take the whistle there. Charlotte was starting to get a little bit of puck movement, but Hall, being the manager of the game, being the manager of the game that he is, was able to get the cover.
Yeah, great play by Joey Hall. He's definitely getting some help from his defenseman here. This is the second time that a power play by the 49ers has not generated anything.
Face-off won by Charlotte, and this will go all the way deep down low for Sam Reedy as he goes after it, back toward the front of the net. Picked up, back across to the side. Reedy couldn't find a way to put it in the gaping net. He beat Joey Hall back to the puck, but forgot, the burnt biscuit. Kind of important to score. Shot through traffic. Hall got bumped on the way through. Shot went wide. Shot on a little bouncer by Aquila. Sent wide. Farad going after it. Picks this one back up and is able to clear. Icing wave by the linesman. Niners have it. Around to Daniel Toland. They'll work it up for Sam Reedy now. He's got it. Puts it into the zone. Chris Wing takes it. The sophomore defenseman lays it ahead for Banishevitz. That could spring an opportunity. Sunda had it run a little too far. Oh my, stopped on a dive over. Banishevitz has it. Lifts it. Scored! Sam Banishevitz, short side. His second of the night, and it's 4-0.
What a shot by Banishevitz, their second goal of the night. He just hits right in the top left, just past the goalie's face mask. I don't know how he got that one in, Chris. Threading the needle.
Well,
Chris went through.
He's earned his ACCHL MVP award.
Yes.
4-0 for the Wolfpack as Banishevitz puts that one in short side. Blue wipes it around. Great shot by our crew downstairs, by the way. Another one right onto Tolan. He'll make the save. The goal is scored by Sam Banishevitz. The assist coming from Garrett Sunda, and Chris Wing, the defenseman, will also get credit for an assist on that tally. And that comes 2 minutes and 47 seconds into the period, an even strength goal. Bly holds the puck here. Sunda takes the body check to make the play, but he lost it. Murrah quickly across the line with it. The defenseman stops. Tries to work it down low. He's dispossessed out into open space. Blue has it. Fredenberg over the blue line. Here they go again. Over. Blue backhander. Lost his handle on it. Into the corner. Gil Martin digging and digging some more. Held by the Wolfpack. Up at the blue line. Long shot through traffic. Tolan kicks it aside. Christoph passes across. Blue lost his handle again. Regains it, but too late to get a shot off. And this time it'll slide on the fresh ice out of the reach of the forward for the Wolfpack. State has it. Ryan Kinney over the blue line, and offside by about a mile was Christoph, so that will merit the whistle. 4-0 NC State. Banishevitz has a couple. One from Andrew Cook, the defenseman, and one from Luis Jimenez. So the offense has been there for NC State, and you got to believe Mike Gazzillo's happy with that.
Oh, without a doubt, Gazzillo, his game plan seems to have not changed so far.
Ryan Kinney works his way through the defense, loses the puck. Christoph coming back, lost it again. Looks like it's some awkward handling on the fresh ice here in the NC State offensive zone. It looks like there's still a lot of standing water on the ice, and that's contributing to the puck sticking. Abbo Oliver has it and puts it into the corner for the Wolfpack, and now it's going to be a board battle. Taken out. NC State's got it at the blue line. Away they come. It's Ryan Kinney leading the rush. Good stick by Gellatley. banks it back up off the boards. Eric White across the blue line. Quick snap wrister. Joey Hall has it with the glove, and he'll hang on as Usinger takes a little exception, but he'll skate aside.
Great save by Joey Hall there. UNC Charlotte is definitely getting more shots on goal there. I count already 7. But it seems that the defensemen are standing their ground, and Joey Hall having another spectacular night.
Face-off will be between Aquila and McDonald. And McDonald steers that one back for one of his defensemen. Alfonsetti reaching out after it, lays this one quickly forward. McDonald going to have to get there in a little bit of a rush to get the puck, and he so does. Gallagher going to the net. Down low, Alfonsetti, rubbed out, has the puck on his stick though. Gallagher to the point, good pass, shot blocked. Taken out by the 49ers across the blue line. They'll gain the zone. Reedy fires a quick shot onto Joey Hall, who has it in the catching glove again, and he'll hold possession. Things starting to get a little chippier down at ice level. Charlotte starting to show a little bit of frustration with 15-17 to go in the second period, but not uncharacteristic for them. It was odd to see. They didn't really out-hit NC State in the first period, and they still haven't in these first 5 minutes.
You're right, Drew. Physicality is the name of the game for the UNC Charlotte 49ers.
Back behind the cage. This will be banked up the wall, held, and then lost by Kevin Hilla. Carried back by McDonald. He's got 2-on-1 with Gallagher. McDonald shoots one, misses the net wide. He was forced out by Kyle Baca. Chris Wing chugs back behind. He's got it. Good finish on the body check laid by Miller as this comes over for Gallagher. Up for McDonald. Great pass and great reception of the pass. Away they go. McDonald shoots one. Blocked on the way through. Up at the point. State holds. This is Chris Wing. Worked it down low. That's lifted up high. And that one may have caught Jeff Wing. Simon Lecter looked like he caught it instead, though. Good work by the Swedish senior to keep his coach safe. Nonetheless, puck's out of play. Whistle blows.
Yeah, coach getting in the action a little bit, it seems like, Drew.
Well, I can tell you, both of these coaches have played. Were good in their playing days, so they'd love to be out there. Banishevitz on the off angle. Looked like he was thinking about shooting. Instead, opts to go to the point. Bly across the way. Holds and fires. Good stop by Toland. Wiped out of the zone on the kick plate. If it reaches the goal line, it's icing, and it is. 14-19 to go in the second period. NC State leading the Charlotte 49ers 4-0. And if they're able to keep this spread, it would be their largest victory in the ACCHL Tournament quarterfinals since 2012, which was before I was here. They only beat Duke 5-3 in 2014 and escaped Navy 1-0 in the year before. Takedown right in front of the net. No delayed penalty. Banishevitz holding on the wing. Shot blocked on the way through. That looked like it stung a little bit as Kevin Hilla took it off the shin pad. Daniel Toland covers up. Banishevitz is really having one of those games. He just seems to have the hot hand, and that's contributing to his team's success.
Well, there is a reason he's the ACCHL MVP, Drew. I mean, he is Jimenez, and I'm sorry, excuse me, not Jimenez, Lecter and Fredenberg really generate the offense for them.
Banishevitz on the backhand, rolls it out wide. Jimenez takes the puck. Sends a shot in. That's deflected up into the screen, out of play.
A screamer that one was.
Whew. Daniel Toland continues to be under constant fire. I mean, you do have to give the young goaltender credit. He's kept his composure for the most part and really hasn't shown any sign of general weakness. He's been beat on a couple of shots, but you can't fault him at all. Niners very strong in net, whether it is Daniel Ritter or Daniel Toland. As that one's up off the state banner, out of play. 13:50 to go in the second. Garrett Sunda to take the draw for the Wolfpack. Glove side of Toland. Wins it back to the point. Shot off the point. Sunda pulling it back. Fredenberg couldn't get it to go home. Now Blue takes it. Blue, quick wrist shot. That's caught up in somebody's equipment. Finally breaks free as Aquila had it blocked and into one of the folds of his uniform. That's one of the ones you don't see very often. Off of a glass stanchion held by Bly. On the boards, Sunda puts it low. Blue loses the puck. In front, chance, Sunda shoots one, score! Sunda puts home the rebound! 5-0 Wolfpack!
Yeah, and the confusion there, Garrett Sunda is at the right place at the right time and catches Toland off guard there for the easy goal.
I think that one surprised Daniel Toland. He had two defensemen playing at home in front of his goal crease. I'm not so sure if he saw the shot. That one never left the surface of the ice and goes off the far side, posts it in. Garrett Sunda, again, should get credit for that goal from Fredenberg. And that comes 6:39 into this second period. Charlotte trying to find some form of an answer. Not on that rush. Skated right back. Addison Oliver with it. Moves it low. Bouncer back at the blue line. Stretch pass. Lifts it up. Andrew Miller onto it. Shoots one. Good stop by Hall. Oliver behind his netminder. Tries to move that one up ice. Picked back up by the Wolfpack. Charlotte won't allow him to get out on the first try. Miller over to the puck for the Niners. Shoots it over. Arnold sends one across the goal crease. Never hit the net. Slap shot through traffic. Hall, he's got it in his glove. Whew. That shot was going wide, but Joey Hall sensed the need for the whistle and came out and did his best Derek Jeter impersonation, stretching out to make the play.
Oh, yeah, Joey Hall with another great save tonight. Looks like he's having a great statistical night. Lost count how many saves that is, Drew, but Joey Hall came to play.
Well, it's going to be important for NC State to have a solid anchor in net, and Joey Hall has been that for the majority of the season. Lecter wins the puck battle, forges into the near side corner as Ryan Kinney is going to be there to support him. Reedy going down low, a little bit of help from White as it's picked back up by the Niners. They've got Baca up top. Instead, they're going to spin it right back down low. The Wolfpack will gladly take that one, move quickly forward. Hilla onto the puck. Kinney there with a little bit of help from Kristoff. Work back up the near side. Lecter onto the puck, holds it, and that one bounces off of Gallagher out of play. 12:07 to go. NC State 5, Charlotte 0. Drew Blevins alongside Nick Sinopoli for this quarterfinal matchup of the ACCHL Admirals Cup for Main Street Arena in downtown Charlottesville, Virginia. Beautiful facility, I might add, too. Wonderful job for these hosts. The University of Virginia and James Madison also doubles with Main Street Arena. In toward the front of the net. Nobody got there, so Charlotte's going to be able to bring this one all the way back down. Wing onto the puck. Hits his man. Back behind the cage. Charlotte sidestepping and hit toward the front. Joey Hall! Unbelievable stop. Once again in front of the point-blank one-timer. Hall is there. Into the corner. Something has finally awoke the 49ers. To the point. Held by Hill. Nobody lost it. Skating right back. Zach Klein onto it. Forcing a play from Aquila. Bounce pass. Sent right back. Aquila suckers it to his stick. Off of a pack defender. Here goes Miller. Works his way in. Trying to go wide. Joey Hall trips him up. This is going to be a penalty. And I'm not sure if it's going to go against Hall or if it was the hit from the defenseman out on the far side. And I think they're going to... Yep, they're going to tab Reed Farhat instead. And they're going to get him for a trip. That's the fourth penalty NC State has taken, the first this period. Charlotte 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. Farhat off for tripping with 11:15 to go in the second.
Geez, they had 6 men on the field right there. Too many, they got to get them off.
McDonald loses this draw. Work back toward the front of the net. Quick shot. That one's wide. Good chance. Now Gellerly has to hold the line. Is unable to do so. McDonald back the other way. Slap shot. Good stop by Toland. The rebound. McDonald was there, but it was steered in the opposite direction. All the way across the ice. In come the Niners. Gilmartin holding the puck. Tried to get it over for Arnold. Somebody, it was McDonald who decked Gilmartin. Shot in. Scored. The shutout is broken. Andrew Miller, the ACCHL Player of the Week, earns his title, beating Hall out to the far side.
Andrew Miller with a great shot there, finally injecting some life into the UNC Charlotte 49ers. They've been taking a lot more shots this period than they have last, and it just seems that they have finally got one down. Good confidence boost for the 49ers.
Andrew Miller, credit for it, with 10:42 to go in the second period. That is a power play goal. Full start in the face-off, and it is won back by Jimenez. Moved it to Banishevitz, back in the opposite direction. Now Bieberdorf tried to chip it along. Banishevitz was practically in the zone. Picked back up, Bieberdorf loses it. Usinger picks it right back up. Here come the Niners. Quick stretch pass over. White in his skates. He's onside and then quickly rubbed out. Geltley puts it into open space. Jimenez wins the battle to the puck. Tried the drop pass. NC State will have to regroup in neutral ice. Lecter, double team on the puck. White's got it, backhands it into the zone. And this is going to be whistled offside, I believe.
Yep, seems like one of the UNC Charlotte players.
Yeah, it was Usinger who was ahead.
Right.
Bieberdorf will take the draw here against Aquila. It's kicked ahead. Bieberdorf wins it this time. He's going after it once again. Stick lift onto Geltley. Good play. Banishevitz right back up with the puck, driving, looking for the hat trick, and he couldn't finish. Jimenez to the point. A little bouncer. Taken back. Marango spinning with the puck. Tried to move it in front for Aquila. The pass is intercepted. Wolfpack could have an opportunity. A little bit of stick work onto Cook from back behind. He took a shot, and this is going to be a penalty on Andrew Cook.
Not sure what the penalty there is yet.
And that's going to be a rough because he took a shot at the end of that sequence. He was being hooked and hound dogged all sorts of different ways from behind, and nobody caught it. This is going to be a high stick for Cook.
Yeah, he took a shot after the one. Andrew Cook's just a little frustrated and get the call, and then he got, yep, high stick there. And
it's going to be called a high stick on Cook. I'm not sure how you can call a high stick on that play either.
Yeah,
that's a rough by every stretch. That's a rough. Nobody will argue that, but when you get those missed calls, I'm good that it's good with me that they're taking the penalties and that they're calling those, but when you're calling them in the incorrect format, you do wonder what is going on down there, and these are two very questionable calls now. Sundup with another stick lift. NC State a perfect they did score on the last power play to Charlotte, so they are 1 for 4 on the power play. State 3 for 4 on the penalty kill. The penalty clock never ran, and that is why we have a stoppage of play here. The game clock ran, the penalty clock did not, and I'm not sure how they're going to manage to sort this one out.
A lot of confusion going on here, Drew, on the ice. First, that questionable call by the referees, and now a clock issue. We're going to see if they'll take off any time. Doesn't look like they will.
Well, I think what the scores table is saying is that they can't just take off penalty time and insert that.
It looks like they'll have a face-off in the neutral zone.
Well, they're going to have to amend that clock somehow because easily 20 seconds ran off. And all this does is slow momentum. Where we are right now, just past the halfway mark in this game, NC State is up 5-1 on the 8th seed, the Charlotte 49ers. Officials having a discussion downstairs with the state bench, who does have right to legitimately have beef with the officials.
First the questionable call, and now a clock issue. I can imagine that Coach Mike Gazzillo and Coach Wing are not pleased.
Well, believe it or not, Jeff Wing is actually the more vocal of the two. Mike Gazzillo becomes very stoic in these situations. But when he is this quiet, you do wonder what's going through the mad scientist's mind.
Yeah, Gazzillo's communicating his frustrations with Coach Wing there, I can tell.
Well, there was no emendation to the clock, and I'm not sure how in the world that's going to be handled. I can imagine that they might allow a few seconds to trickle off after this play is over. Good play in front. Toe save by Joey Hall. Rebound wrapped wide and blocked. Joey Hall has made some tremendous saves in this hockey game. And it's looking like if patterns continue, it's going to be underscored, as now Hall will cover things up as there is a gathering of the clans in front. No, they're gonna play the clock normally. And it really is a shame that you have these controversies when it comes to playoff time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you want to get the correct calls down in your playoff time, and it seems that not saying that hasn't been the case, it's just at the inappropriate times these calls have been made, but I think that the refs are doing the best that they can, and they're trying to get this a clean game and have control of it.
Into the slot area. NC State will have none of that. They'll clear it all the way back down. Usinger onto the puck. He'll wrap it around. Skated quickly up the ice. Away he goes. Usinger steps by everybody. White's going to have to support the puck there. Up at the point. Murrah, a little bouncer, holds it, rolls into Joey Hall. Missed on the cover-up. Nearly disastrous there. And we're going to have another delayed penalty here. This one's going to go against the Wolfpack. That's called down low as Toland came streaking quickly forward. Chris Wing will be called for this one.
Chris Wing obviously not happy with the call there. Seems that he and Cook are now in the frustrations of this game.
5-on-3 for the Niners for 58 seconds. Wing called for holding against the boards. Uncharacteristic for the Wolfpack as well.
Yeah, you don't really see many 5-on-3 opportunities for State's opposing teams.
Pass across. You can imagine Charlotte's going to try to make this the perfect shot. If they do, it becomes a hockey game again as they'd be down only 3. Joey Hall stops it with the cheater pad of his glove. Gilmartin picks it right back up. Looks to the point for Gallantly now. He'll wind up and fire. Blocked almost immediately. Great play by Danny Fredenberg, and he'll clear off the lone pane of glass on the scorer's table. And you can see everybody within vision of that puck adjusted their position to try to dodge it.
Ooh, I thought that one was coming up at you and me, Drew.
Well, thank goodness we have the screen. Pass across the way, backhanded back by Andrew Miller. 15 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Gallantly picks this one right back up. Trying to go back down low. Gilmartin forging down low along with Philip Arnold. Arnold's the one to come away with the puck. Fredenberg right onto him. He's pinned up against the wall. Wrapped out. Bly getting a couple of shoves in. It's getting testy down low. Shot off Hall. Rebound. Played. They're going to say that wasn't a high stick. They scored! That goes in! That's a high stick on Charlotte that goes uncalled, and they scored on it. Sean Bly is livid.
Not sure why the high stick wasn't called there.
The good news for NC State, it comes after the first penalty had timed out, but that is going to be a goal accredited to Philip Arnold, I believe, with 7:07 to go, and all of a sudden it's 5-2.
Great movement there by the 49ers. They finally got to slow down to do the 5-on-3 and build some momentum here going in with 7 minutes remaining left in the second period.
A little bouncer. Here go the Niners again. This time it's Aquila to work his way around. Backhands that one across. Hall run over on the way through. Sure, Andrew Cook didn't help things there as he laid a quick shove into the back of Marengo. This will be carried right back. Kinney runs into one of his guys. Work back. Cook toward the front. Kinney going after it. Lost the puck. Backhanded out. On the half wall. State finally able to skate this one out with possession. Simon Lecter curls it. Crafty pass across. Kristoff works his way into the corner. Somehow maintains possession of the puck. Work toward the front. Now Kinney going after it. He's going to have to fight off Usinger, who's had a great game for the Niners. Hasn't made the score sheet, but I can tell you this. Usinger, at least to me, has been the MVP of this Niners team. And there he is again, making a play to get the puck into the zone. Quick turnaround. McDonald lays it forward for Tyler Alfonzetti in his new uniform number 3. Chris Wing's got it. rolls it in. Kyle Baca, Alfonsetti right there, lays the hit. Greg Driscoll there, sends that one up, stays in play for now. Alfonsetti right there with it. Greg Driscoll going after him. Everybody bearing down on each other. That puck not moving too terribly much. Finally pulled free as Baca sends it right back out and into the safety of neutral ice. McDonald works his way around. Wrist shot goes wide. Alfonsetti's going to pin that one up, spins it back down low. Kyle Baca takes it, trying to send it up and out. Driscoll picks it right back up. This will be taken and stretched out wide. Across the way, Alfonsetti loses the puck. Wing there as the safety valve. Forges it ahead. State needing a line change badly. Can't quite get it yet. Moved up and ahead. Charlotte looking for possession, reaching out, slapping after the puck in the stick. This time it's Hill, the defenseman, onto it. 4:54 to go in the second period. NC State up 5-2. Arnold winds up and slaps this one in. Hall going to let this one go. Arnold calling for it in front. He's going to get an opportunity, and he missed it. Shot again, and it's high. That was a great chance for Miller to earn his second of the game, and he sent it upstairs. Banishevitz, dogged work on Baca. He's got the puck. Banishevitz in front. Nobody home for the pass. It looked like it hopped the stick of Jimenez. Miller back the other way. Here he goes. He's going to lose the puck by a triple team defense because he didn't have any teammates with him. Out wide, back and forth we go. Jimenez diving in, shoots one. Good stop by Daniel Toland, and we will finally get a whistle.
Charlotte is taking some serious shots on the goalie Joey Hall down there. It seems like this has been a different UNC Charlotte team, only 8 goals in the first.
Well, Andrew Miller was right there, and I'm telling you, when I say he had every bit of the upper portion of the net aside from Joey Hall's outstretched leg pad, I mean that in every sense of the word. And I think that puck may have come up on edge a little bit to him. Give the 49ers credit, though, because they have come out and drastically improved their game, and they're deserving of both of those goals. Up at the point, held momentarily by Aquila, just sent back by NC State. Into Joey Hall. He'll get it in his catching glove. Marengo takes a shot at the end of that play and goes down. Still some more pushing and shoving, and now the Niners starting to get in a little bit better rhythm. They're under the Wolfpack skin, and you can tell it.
Oh, yeah. Remember that we said earlier in the broadcast that Charlotte is a physical team. They are a little chippy, and they are definitely getting under the Pack skin right now, not going away easily by a score of 5-2. Not really giving anything up here, Drew.
Good poke check. Danny Fredenberg's going to finish his own work. Fredenberg, well defended. Blue with the deflection that went wide. Kyle Gettley picks up the puck, tries to roll it up. Marengo just put it in the neutral zone. Picked right back up. Deep down low into the zone. Blue onto it here. He's rubbed out. Puck still free. Gettley can't quite get to it. Back behind the net, more pushing and shoving is Sean Burke, the defenseman. Once again, another Raleigh native on this Charlotte team makes the play, breaking it out. Niners deeply into the zone. Takedown out at neutral ice on Marengo, and State's going to take another penalty.
Whew, it's been the story of this game that State's just committing some unfortunate penalties. Oops, some chippiness down there.
Somebody's chasing down Simon Lecter. I'm not sure who the penalty is going to be assessed to. It's an interference call against the Wolfpack. Bly is the one nearest the penalty box.
Looks like it will be assessed on Kinney instead.
And it's going to be Ryan Kinney coming across the line. I didn't see the initial contact. All I saw was Marengo coming all the way back down on his face. That's the 7th penalty against the Wolfpack today, as I just said. They're getting close to a season high. 9 would be the season high record. Another penalty, and they'll have tied it. Get this. Out of all the penalties that have been taken, they've all been taken by different players, which is very strange. Normally, you'll at least see somebody double their time in the box. Interference onto Kinney. State 5 for 6 on the penalty kill. Toward the front of the net. Could be a chance here for Charlotte. Everybody digging after the puck. Squirts free back behind the net. Hilla shoots one. Blocked by Hall. The rebound opportunity. Swept out. No goal. Good work, tandem defense. Joey Hall and his defensive pairing. It's Cook and Lecter out there right now. Usinger, Driscoll, up for Murrah, the captain. Taps it along, Usinger. Has it caught up in his skates. Oliver doing yeoman's work, loses the puck. Murrah out wide, well defended as this one's just going to be shot very high, deep into the zone. Wraparound opportunity, Hall's got it, and he's going to melt it down.
The story of this period has been if UNC Charlotte can capitalize on the numerous NC State Wolfpack penalties, but they've only been able to capitalize on one of them, but it's definitely giving the 49ers some momentum here, Drew.
Arnold will take the draw. He has a goal this game. Gilmartin going out and after it. Gellatly picks it right back up. Sends it deep into the zone. Arnold going after the puck here. Works out wide. Gilmartin will hold. Gellatly sweeps it right back down low. Wide of Andrew Miller. Farhat up off the boards. A little bouncer taken right back up. Fortuitous bounce. Arnold's got it. Up at the point. Nope, he's going to keep it with himself as Arnold just sends a quick wrist shot up high on Joey Hall's chest protector. Hall will pick this one up. You know, those can be interesting shots for a goaltender. You do have a whole lot of padding up on the shoulders, but when you take one right off that tendon part, that can sting you a little bit.
Oh, you know that, Drew, since you're a former goaltender. I think Joey kind of hurt a little bit right there.
Seems to be fine, but just one of those awkward places. NC State will finally get a clear. Get this, Charlotte earlier in the game was able to successfully secure the puck in their possession on a power play for 10 seconds, and in that last stretch alone, they kept the puck in their own zone for 90 seconds.
Completely different UNC Charlotte team on the power play this period.
Face-off won by the Wolfpack as they'll just look to kill some time. Punch back down low. Sunda going after it here on his backhand. Look to work in front for McDonald. He'll chop it down, keeps it alive. McDonald, good job on the penalty kill. Clock still has not started. Everybody's up in arms about it. Nobody's recognized
Clock
it.
has done nothing.
Finally, they get it to go. Everybody getting a little testy wearing red, white, and black. They've got a little bit of a right to. It's frozen once again. Hall has the puck in his glove. No, he doesn't. Long shot. Everybody's pointing up at it. That's two stoppages in the same frame. Finally, they've got it going. It's going to be a penalty kill nonetheless for NC State. 1 minute to go in this second period, which the wheels have fallen off the wagon. Mike Kren out there. Lifted up, high stick negated as NC State brings it right back down. Banashevitz over the line, he's onside. Here he goes, Banashevitz shoots one, good stop. One of the Charlotte defensemen has lost his stick, and that's Sean Lappin, the coach's son. All the way back, Miller going after it. Bly's going to win the foot race to it, lost the puck, scored! It goes in as Andrew Miller finds a way to put it home on a nifty move. He was beat to the puck by Sean Bly, but Miller caught the puck on his backhand.
Miller and Usinger have been the key to their goals tonight, Drew. They're having a great game, and they are not going away easily. Definitely causing some trouble with the Wolfpack there with the combination of their improved play and the unfortunate clock errors. The Pack are not pleased.
Well, you wonder, this goal comes with what will officially be accredited as 33 seconds to go.
I totally understand Mr. Wing's frustrations here, but he has to keep his cool.
20 seconds are going to run off this clock, but you wonder if the prior clock error had not happened, that goal would not have counted because time would have run out of the period.
Yeah, it seemed that Kenny was in there for a lifetime. I don't understand why they would run off the clock now, because that should negate the goal. I mean, if Kenny comes in when he's supposed to, that goal might not have occurred.
20 seconds run off the clock here. The goal will stand unassisted to Andrew Miller. And now Bieberdorf's going to take a penalty here. That's the 8th penalty of the game. Bieberdorf takes a run at the defenseman. 6 seconds to go in the penalty, and what was a good hockey game for about 30 minutes has become a mockery.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on right now. The refs really need to gain control of this game. Some interesting calls tonight, Drew.
6 seconds to go. Quick line change is going to be negated by the officials. Whistle had blown, so Charlotte has to keep the same personnel out there.
We got to take control of this game, boys. We're worried about the refs. We got to get some pucks in the net.
Here's that Coach Wings talking about he has to take control. The Wolfpack that have
Well,
to
and
take
I agree
control
with
of
him.
this
I
game.
mean, we have the advantage as broadcasters of being able to hear what's going on the state bench, and he's absolutely right. State is going to absolutely have to take it to the Niners, and they're not going to get any help. Off the face-off, the puck is won into the corner. That is going to do it for this second period. And NC State will skate off to the dressing room disappointed. After Banishevitz made it 5-0, it's 3 unanswered goals by the Wolfpack. And all of a sudden, we have a hockey game on our hands. Stay tuned as we'll have our Coach's Corner interview coming up at the intermission period, and that should be a very interesting one as Nick Sinopoli will have one of the 2 NC State coaches downstairs. And after that, we'll have third period action. The score at the end of 2, NC State 5, the number 8 seed Charlotte 49ers 3. You're watching Wolfpack Sports Television's coverage of the ACCHL Admirals Cup Tournament. Back in a moment.
I'm Nick Sinopoli here live after the second period. The Pack lead by a score of 5-3. I'm here with Coach Jeff Wing. Coach, the story of the second period is the unfortunate clock errors resulting in 2 goals for the UNC Charlotte 49ers. I understand that is very frustrating. Drew Blevins and I can attest to that up in the booth.
Right.
What are your thoughts on the clock errors, and how are you going to combat that in the third period?
Well, I think we've seen the refs have missed a few things, and it really is hard to keep your composure. One thing we need to do is take control what we can control, and we need to put some more pucks in the net to get this game over with, right? So I think what we got to do now is just, play our game and not let that take us into a bad place.
Yeah, I understand. What are you going to do? What are you going to have to tell the players in the locker room after an unfortunate period like this, where it seems that there's nothing they can do about it? It's out of their hands, like you said. They have to take control of their own game. What do you say to them?
Well, the first thing you have to do is don't get frustrated and take it out on another player on the other team, right? Because retaliation, everybody sees, make it even easier for the refs to call those penalties. So just everybody's got to get composed, including myself, and just try to play our game. I think we did in the first period. I think we got away from that a little bit in the second, so we'll be fine in the third.
Right, good talking to you. Refs are getting a little antsy here going into the third period. We'll see what's coming up next. I'm Nick Sinopoli with Wolfpack Sports TV, bringing you into the Pack.
Arena, we are nearly set for the third period puck drop. Drew Blevins alongside Nick Sinopoli here, Wolfpack Sports Television's coverage of the ACCHL Admirals Cup Tournament. And Nick, while we have really given you all the truth about what the officiating situation has been like here at Main Street Arena, let's also give credit where credit is due. And the Charlotte 49ers deserve a lot of credit because, truth be told, they played a better final 10 minutes of the second period than the NC State Wolfpack did. And with a couple of fortuitous bounces, one fortuitous call, they're able to make a couple of goals and then are able to finish it off with a third. 3 unanswered goals for the Niners, which is an incredible feat against NC State, who normally plays well. As the conference with the officials continues from both sides.
Seems like there's still some disagreement.
They've just disqualified Joey Hall, I think.
I have no idea what's going on down here. I wish I could tell you.
I'm so confused at this point. Well, that means Brian Nelson's going to have to go in. And you cannot tell me that this is possibly the right thing to do.
I mean, you can't write this stuff, Drew. I mean, just one thing after another.
Brian Nelson's having to go into the game.
I don't know.
Oh, my.
I'm not sure if Joey Hall might have said something to an official or a UNC Charlotte player, but definitely have to get some information. So Bieberdorf and Hall are in the penalty box right now.
Well, that's incorrect. A goaltender cannot serve a penalty.
I mean, he has to be ejected.
They have given Joey Hall a 10-minute misconduct That's incorrect. That is incorrect. Joey Hall cannot serve that penalty as a goaltender.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Someone definitely needs to get down there and inform Coach Mike Gazzillo and Coach Jeff Wing about that.
I'm sure they know, and I'm sure they've been given some sort of explanation. But Brian Nelson has just been thrown into the fire. He was accredited with the loss against Wake Forest. Not his fault. He played very well, at least I thought from listening to the broadcast. This will be cleared by NC State. They do still have a 5-on-4 that they have to deal with. Quick shot. Save made by Toland. As some semblance of hockey's continued. Blue down on his skates. Delayed penalty on the way. This one is going to go against the 49ers. Banishevitz is the extra guy. Lecter making a little bit of time and space. They scored! Did they? No, wait, oh my.
Sorry, you were a little distracted there.
Well,
I was
no,
pointing out that
because
the
Brian
goalie
Nelson,
was pulled.
yeah, Brian Nelson came to the bench on the delayed penalty. That's a traditional call. And they're going to get Danny Blue. So you can forget the power play hopes here. Danny Blue will go into the penalty box that already has Joey Hall in it and Bieberdorf.
You hate to see a game like this being
Well, it's been a good close hockey game. It really has been, and you hate to see it marred by unjust officiating. And think about it. I mean, it's unfair to NC State as the team with the lead, but it's unfair to Charlotte as well, because I'm sure they would tell you if they're going to earn a victory against the #1 seed, they want to do it fair and square and without question, just like Wake Forest did last weekend. So this is going to be 4-on-4 hockey for the next 56 seconds, but both penalties should go up on the clock as they are not considered matching minors, and it is going to be 5-on-4, so they will not come out at the termination of 2 minutes directly. They will come out of the box at the next termination after 2 minutes have been served. Matching minors against Blue, and I did not catch the number of the 49er who went to the penalty box. Using her with the puck up by the blue line now. Driscoll makes his way up and forward. Nelson directing traffic as he's had to come in quite cold. The only advantage he has is he's not been thrust into a game. Oh my, big hit late coming across the board. That was needed. Levi Usinger shoots one. Nelson saved. Cleared by NC State. Good stop for Nelson to insert himself into the game. Driscoll shoots one. Saved by Nelson. The rebound in the slot. State will clear. Jeff Wing is quite literally pulling his hair out. That was a leaving your feet hit. Illegality by Charlotte's Usinger. Usinger has the puck right now. Banishevitz chasing him down. Bieberdorf out of the box. It's another penalty kill for NC State. Reed Farak all the way over now. Banishevitz holding it, waiting for his teammates. Passes it across, misses his man. Frustration taking its toll on the Wolfpack and their strategy. Banishevitz cuts himself free. Pass across, slashed away by White. In front, one-timer misses wide. Held into the zone. Back behind the cage, could be a chance here. Jimenez shoots one, he's going to get his own rebound, spins it in front. Bieberdorf, Banishevitz shoots one, scored! Sam Banishevitz! It's a hat trick! 6-3 Wolfpack!
It's great to see Sam Banishevitz having a good game despite this game being marred by the incredulous penalties. It seems that Danny Blue's penalty was never put on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's because it was a matching minor. That is the correct thing.
Excuse me, yes.
Banishevitz puts it in. That's a tremendous goal and a lift of energy for NC State. And we'll see if that lifts them out of the fog for any type of considerable amount of time.
That's what you want to see from your MVP here, Banishevitz. Really getting the pack back in the game and fighting against a fight on two fronts.
That's a hat trick for Sam Banishevitz. Tremendous work from him. 6-3, the Wolfpack have a 3-goal lead. Nelson called for icing. The officials calling that it was tipped into the zone. Icing negated as Charlotte establishes their possession. Far out to Oliver. Worked up quickly. Ryan Kinney with it. Backhands it over for Kristoff. Away he goes, trying to move it across. This will be picked right back up. Could be an odd man rush for Charlotte. Good job by NC State getting the defenseman out there quickly on the change. Kren for Bly. Up the wall now. Kinney takes it off the kick plate. Kristoff dumps it in. Out wide, Gilmartin is going to yield to one of his defense partners. Wristed in quickly. Moved across, Murrah's got it. To the point, Miller, who has a couple already. For Arnold, now he'll just backhand it into the zone. Miller going after it, looking for a hat trick of his own, as was aforementioned. McDonald working along with Bly. Kicked all the way out, Murrah holds. Tries to send one down low, off of the shin pad. Charlotte picks it right back up. Smacked off the boards. Mike Kren takes it. Works it out wide. Alfonsetti has it run too far for him. Murrah with a spin move. He's dispossessed. All the way back now. Zach Klein on to Kyle Baca. Baca was able to win that one over for Driscoll in the opposite corner. Baca picks it up once again. He'll be pressured. Charlotte will pick this one up. Up and on the blue line. Lifted up off the boards. Kren denies it. Over Driscoll's head on the clear end. Kren watching Usinger, who's coming in. Trying to disrupt the breakout attempt. Kren for Klein. Quickly up and off the half wall for McDonald. McDonald across the blue line, trying to backhand move. He's dispossessed, but it comes back for Andrew Cook. Up the boards, that one hopped over Alfonsetti's stick. This is going to be icing on the Wolfpack. No change coming with 15:34 to go in the third. Keep in mind, unless Brian Nelson yields 6 goals at this point, the win would go to Joey Hall. Nelson will gladly just field this one, and he'll hang on. Of course, after every game, we have Mike Gazzillo with an interview downstairs. It will be very interesting to get his thoughts on this hockey game. He's been very stoic, fairly quiet throughout the most part of the in-play segments, letting his team and Jeff Wing do a lot of the communicating with the officials. It'll be interesting to see what the man behind the mustache has to say. Nelson, good stop on the pad, charging out afterwards. Frustration really starting to infuse itself into this hockey game. Mike Kren is, I thought it was Kren, it was instead Fredenberg. I believe that was Usinger who was getting a little frustrated. No, excuse me, it was Marengo who was getting frustrated in the goal crease. They'll skate away. Everybody wearing black is really counting the minutes. Wait a minute, there was another penalty that went up against the Wolfpack. There is no penalty against the Wolfpack. In that case, I can tell you that with absolute certainty. Now Mike Gazzillo is starting to get a little bit into it.
I can totally understand Mike Gazzillo expressing
He wants his team to say nothing. And you do have to worry. NC State holds on for this win. Gazzillo wants to make sure that he's got everybody at his disposal for the remaining games. Now Mike Gazzillo is getting frustrated. The officials are really causing Mike Gazzillo to lose his cool. And he's right. Thomas Aud, Alex Aud, the player from the first semester who graduated, was in the scorer's box. Mike Gazzillo is saying that he was given permission by the commissioner to be in the scorer's box, which is correct. I saw Mike Wally given permission myself, and now Mike Gazzillo is arguing that because Audie's just been removed from the scorer's box.
Honestly, at this point, Drew, it's getting ridiculous. Let's just see some hockey being played. It's really unfortunate that the game has come down to this, where it is marred by these incredible
I'm
mistakes.
At a loss for words.
Honestly, I've never seen a hockey game played in this way.
This has killed all sense of momentum. I don't know what to say. And it's very rare that I am put in that position, but I can only tell the facts, and the facts are that officiating has played a part in this game to the point that it is worrisome regardless of what the result is, regardless of what team wins, because this game, in my mind, has set the tone and the precedence for the rest of the weekend.
Yes, I could totally understand that, because what if these refs are they're the same refs in the UNC game tomorrow? If the Pack do pull this one out, that will be a very chippy game due to the rivalry between the Tar Heels and the Pack. You don't want to see a game marred by penalties there.
Well, now Mike Wally's over having a discussion with Mike Gazzillo. Shot on to Brian Nelson. He stops it with his big frame. Shoots one again. Brian Nelson took it off the shoulder. What a stop.
Brian Nelson is staying strong down there in the absence of Joey Hall.
That's unbelievable. Face-off one this time by Sunda. This will be forged all the way up. Somehow missed the ceiling. Fredenberg pokes it ahead. 2-on-1. Shoots one. Scored! Danny Fredenberg! Short side. 7-3.
Gosh, Fredenberg with what a play there. He's one of the fastest players on the Wolfpack roster, and he just proved it there, flying and weaving past defenders for his goal.
Unbelievable!
7-3. Wolfpack with 15 minutes left.
Andrew Cook sprung him forward. And Danny Fredenberg did all the rest. 7-3 for the Wolfpack as they are looking to put this one out of reach. Face off back out at center. Bieberdorf loses this one. Quickly moved in forward by the Niners. Away they go. Using his speed. Works in. Stopped by Nelson. Rebound is loose. Into the corner it goes. Jimenez loses it as Driscoll sends it back down low. Wing picks it up, loses it to Driscoll, who's got it in the corner now with a little bit of space. Driscoll working right, far out onto him. Puck is loose. State's got it. And Bieberdorf all the way up. Jimenez, long stretch pass intended for Vanishevitz. Well read by the 49er defense. Away goes Reed Farhat with it for Vanishevitz now. Wrists it into the zone. Toland puts it over into the corner. Back behind the cage. Gelletley onto the puck for the 49ers. Quickly up through the neutral zone. Vanishevitz returns fire down deep. Pass intercepted by Reed Farhat. He's got it across the line. Drops it back. Jimenez holding one. He's mauled from behind. Picked right back up. Vanishevitz hanging on to it. Tried to find Kristoff. Instead, this could spring an odd man rush. Quickly with speed. Away goes Marengo. Just lifted up high, off the boards. Kristoff turning with it. Can't quite get it out. Play out in front. And we've got Aquila who's down on the play. He fell as the result of a hit, and this is going to be a penalty against Reed Farhat. And that's going to be interference called against the state defenseman. Ninth team penalty for the Wolfpack, first this period.
Correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't that tie the team record for a game?
That breaks it.
Oh,
this
that
season.
breaks it.
Breaks
Woo!
it for the record this season. Not in minutes, mind you. These have all been minor penalties. I would have to go back and do a little bit more research on penalties in minutes. But that's the ninth team penalty. Interference on Farhat. NC State, believe it or not, 8 of 9 on the penalty kill, which has been outstanding practice for them. Baca with the puck across the blue line, looking just to drop it back. Instead, he's forced to skate it all the way back down low. So now you've got a defenseman playing essentially a rover wing position. Over on the half wall, State trying to clear. Kren pinches up a little too high. He's saved by the presence of his senior counterpart, Sean Bly. Charlotte will break it right back out, coming through center. Quickly and away they go. Andrew Miller's got a couple this game already. Drops it back. One-timer! Good stop by Nelson on the Driscoll one-timer. Wrap back around. A little more body contact. Ryan Kinney picking it right back up. Puck being double-teamed by the Niners. Takedown on the play. Kinney right back up to his feet. Pass across, intercepted by Cook. He'll clear it. Short-handed opportunity. McDonald to the races. Gets it. Shoots one. Scored! Jack McDonald! Oh, my! Short-handed! Snap wrister beats Toland 8-3.
It's great to see McDonald finally do something tonight. I know he has had some struggles early on. He has mishandled the puck. Hasn't really done well with this puck move, but he just let that one rip with the breakaway on the shorthanded goal. Very impressive.
That is a young man, very deserving of that goal. NC State has opened it back up to a 5-goal lead by a count of 8-3, and the Charlotte 49ers are going to try to regroup as they will call timeout. That's a short-handed goal by Jack McDonald with 47 seconds to go. And Nick, we were talking with Mrs. Banishevitz, who was actually here in person earlier, and she said, and I quote, maybe those guys will come off, end quote, angry, to make it a kind word. But they have, and now they have 3 unanswered.
Well, you gotta love Miss Banishevitz here. The Wolfpack have responded just as she predicted. They came out and they took control of this game. That's what Coach Jeff Wing was talking to me about during the intermission. It seems that Wolfpack won't let the interesting calls mar their supposed victory. They've put the game into their hands, and they're going to control it.
I would like to make an amendation to a statement I made earlier. I forgot about the matching minors. That's 10 team penalties for NC State, 2 for the 49ers. Who, I mean, to their credit, I think at least, have played a very clean hockey game. Physical though it may be, Charlotte has played clean.
Yes, I mean, said it before, I'll say it again. UNC Charlotte is a physical team, but that hasn't really created any disturbances in this game. It's really just been the calls the officials have been making.
So the face-off will come back out to center. That is going to allow Mike Gazzillo to rest his top penalty kill line, or at least the line he's been using as his top penalty kill. That's McDonald, Kenny, Cook, and Lecter. Face-off is won by McDonald. He'll have to come back out to neutral ice. Turnover. Kenny's got it right back. Driscoll going back. Pass across the way. Zipped forward. Driscoll's got it over the blue line. Finds a teammate. Held. Shot through traffic. Blocked on the way through. State can't clear as Gellertley holds. Across the way in front. Driscoll sends it down low. Lost it to Lecter. 15 seconds to go. Simon Lecter tries to go through the defense. He's just going to kill some time. Loses the puck. Tapped ahead. Picked back up by Lecter. Lets it go for Klein. Shoots it wide. That's going to effectively kill the penalty, though, as Usinger takes it. Does the spin-a-ramble, but loses the puck to Lecter. Pass over for Mitchell Gallagher. The junior Canadian. Missed it all the way over. Now dumped in as Gellertley's got it. Klein tipped the pass. Into the zone it goes. Aquila going after it. Wing has it bounce off of his stick. Gallagher just sweeps it ahead for Alfonsetti. He'll try to skate it out, and does. Zach Klein now with it. Klein holding. Coaching staff screaming for a shot. Back the other way for Charlotte now. Farad pushes his man out wide. Up the boards now. Zach Klein's got it. Lifted up. Murrah chops it down. Quick change for Aquila as Nelson puts it into the corner. Almost halfway through this third period. 8-3, the Wolfpack lead. Klein has it. Lost it. Chance for Charlotte in front. Gil Martin lost it off the toe of his stick. Back toward the front for Arnold. It was too hot for him to handle. Sent back in the opposite direction. Nelson. So far, so good in net. Everybody was sort of collectively holding their breath because Joey Hall's been the bread and butter, but serving the misconduct. Back down low, Wing letting it go. Arnold providing the battle on the wall. This will be cleared out. Could be a chance. Jimenez off of his stick. He'll negate the icing. He's got it. Jimenez wrapping, looking for somebody. His team with the line change. Just spun one. He's got it back with a little bit of numbers. Here he goes. Down low, Banishevitz. He sent it too low off the leg pad. Banishevitz was looking for 4. Down low. The magnificent number 2. Holding it here on his backhand as he sends it right back down low. Murrah onto the puck here. He'll try to move it right back up ice. Kren on his backhand. Sends it back down low. Schroll onto the puck for the Niners. Pass quickly up and forward, a little bit of stretching and reaching, but nonetheless, it's corralled by Charlotte. Brian Nelson will catch it and hang on with 9:14 to go. And Nick, you do wonder how much of this right now is bleeding the clock for NC State up 5.
Well, I mean, it is. They're doing the best they can. I mean, they are definitely keeping the puck down on the side of University of Charlotte. Oh, it looks like the goalie's being pulled. Who was number 39 going in? That's going
to be Holman.
Justin Holman. Yes.
Well, this is an interesting move. You normally don't see a goaltender pulled at this juncture in time. Slap shot in. Nelson reads it and catches. It does bring into question, though, if this gets later in the game, Charlotte's able to get a couple of goals. Since they've used their timeout, you can manufacture your own time by constantly switching the goaltenders. That was something the Montreal Canadiens like to use, as Nelson again with a glove save.
Nelson has definitely come in and performed well in Joey Hall's absence. Seems that Joey Hall's infraction has run out, but they're keeping Nelson in.
Well, I don't blame him up 5. I mean, Joey Hall's a very vocal young man. You certainly don't want him to injure his cause worse than he already needs to, or than he already has. Nelson puts it back behind his cage as Kren, using the big body size to sort of bully his way through with the puck. In front, Charlotte. Good hit on Kren. Nope! It's going to be a penalty. And who's it going to go against?
I think it might
That's going to go against Charlotte? No, it...
Bieberdorf and...
No, this is... All right, I'm thoroughly confused. Everybody was skating toward their respective penalty boxes, but this is going to be a penalty on Bieberdorf. No Niner is in the box. This is a penalty on Bieberdorf for roughing. Another power play chance.
Not sure where the penalty is there, Drew, but Bieberdorf is out with the... Now, this is UNC Charlotte's 12th opportunity.
Well, this is their 11th.
11th.
But one was negated as not a power play opportunity because it was a matching minor. So
right.
They're 10% on the power play. To the point. Slap shot through traffic. Blocked. Great play. Blue off to the races. Whistle from behind. And this is going to be a slashing penalty.
Against Simon Lecter, it looks.
Yep, this is Simon Lecter, the Swedish senior, going to the box, slashing.
Didn't really see anything in there.
Was back behind the play. Extended 5-on-3 for at least a minute 46, or at most a minute 46. Kicked ahead by Danny Blue. Off to the races. He's got Murrah there with him. Shoots one. Good stop by Holloman. All the way back up ice. Gilmartin onside. Holds it. Pass across. Shooting one. Great stop by Brian Nelson, and it's out of play. And that is how you want to see a sizable goaltender use his frame. He's there tight to the goalpost, has his body angled out enough that really there was nowhere to shoot except into the big man.
Yeah, that's one thing Nelson does have on Hall, his size. He is a big man at 6'4", while Joey Hall only stands at 5'9".
Face off, one back by Charlotte. Miller to the point. Held here. Pass across. Shooting one high, they scored! Andrew Miller puts it in. That's a hat trick for the ACCHL Player of the Week. And it's a minute 31 of power play time to carry over.
Yep, Miller there. He has been the story for the 49ers' success tonight. Another power play success by the 49ers.
That assist is going to go to Geltley on the play. And now it is 8-4 with 8:01 to go in the period. Second power play goal of the evening for the Niners. 5-on-4. Gilmartin sends it into the skates of one of his teammates. That's Arnold, as he'll go right back down low toward the front. Gilmartin fans on the one-timers. The puck was too high. Forge down low. Cook has it. Hound dog by Arnold. Moves it back over for Gilmartin. In front. Great defensive play by Cook as he got back in front of the net. Laid up forward, delayed offside as Banishevitz will quickly touch back. Charlotte's got the puck. Ahead of the blue line. In they go. Niners looking to try to set things up here, and this will be deflected out of play. Not a lot of patience right now for Charlotte. And I take that back. This is going to be too many men on the Niners. And the taunting cheers come from the NC State constituency. This is going to be White to serve the penalty, but too many men on the Niners. That's their third penalty.
Yeah, uncharacteristic play by the 49ers there, just a mental mistake. Too many people on the ice. Now it seems that we have a 4-on-4.
4-on-4 for 51 seconds, and then an abbreviated power play for the Wolfpack. You almost believe that NC State, if they could score one more, would really put a nail in the coffin. Worked out wide. Niners will pick this one up. 3-on-3 the other way. And a hand pass is called in the neutral zone. 7:12 to go in a game that dropped the puck. 7:45, and now we are almost at 10 p.m. Hack and whack time, held in by Bly. Sends a shot, good stop by Holman, and he'll cover up.
Bly falling as he took that shot down there. Not a bad shot.
Well, I mean, you can't really blame him for falling.
Not a bad shot off center.
Face off over to the glove side of Holman. Up at the point, shot goes wide. On the half wall, Charlotte trying to pick it back up. Long wrist shot through traffic, steered aside. Held in by the Wolfpack for right now, and they're nearly going to run this 4-on-4 opportunity out in its entirety in their own zone, in their attacking zone, I should say. Bieberdorf over the blue line with it. Works his way through, wanted the shot, not going to get it. Sunda dispossesses his man, shoots wide. Great stop by Holman. Charlotte trying to clear it. Power play time for NC State. On the backhand, Oliver can't get it to go. Pass across, shot in toward the net, saved, the puck is loose, cleared out by Charlotte. Nelson will touch it along. 6 minutes to go in the third period. North Carolina State leading Charlotte 8-4. Ryan Kinney over the blue line with it, driving it on his backhand, shoots one up high and wide. Kren will hold the line with a little bit of help from teammates. Raced it all the way back down. Perhaps time for one more rush for the Wolfpack. Over the blue line, Kristoff driving his way through. Puck taken from him. State has a couple of men back behind the net. 10 seconds to go on their power play. To the top for Kren. Shoots one, that's blocked on the way through. That one looked like it stung Miller a little bit. Even strength we go once again. Usinger lays the hit. And offsides called against the Niners as Gettley carried the puck in. Well, you don't want to jinx anything, but it looks like NC State might survive.
Yes, it does. Going along with the unfortunate calls, the sparks have come back from the 49ers. I think State has responded well to the adversity.
Dumped into the zone. Cook will take it. Rips it all the way around. Alfonsetti can't quite get it out. Murrah holds the line. His number opposite is Simon Lecter. Banks it up off the boards. Lecter going after it. Over on the half wall, held at the blue line. Murrah going all over it. He's got it. Murrah winds up and fires. Blocked on the way through. McDonald picks it up, looking to move in the opposite direction. Steers it up for Alfonsetti, who gets it out to neutral ice. Alfonsetti doing a little bit more. Here he goes. Alfonsetti back. Caught. Shoots one. Missed high. Holman may have got a piece of that one. A little bit of loose lumber out in front. Big hit from Murrah, who was the one who has lost his twig. Another big hit. Another one. Things getting very testy. McDonald pushes it down low. Klein sends it across the way. Shot blocked. Alfonsetti across again. Good stop from Hallman. Niners can't quite clear now. Now in open space, they'll just send it right up the gut. 4 minutes to go in the hockey game. Kyle Beck has got it. Everybody armed with a twig as Murrah is off the ice now. Slap shot. Save, rebound, off the crossbar and high, out of play. Brian Nelson, a good stop on the first shot. The rebound came in and back a center off the heavy metal.
Ooh, close one there for Brian Nelson. Seemed that he didn't see the ricochet off of his stick, but UNC Charlotte missed opportunity.
That would have made things very interesting. White will take the face-off against Bieberdorf. Fresh puck in play. Up at the point. Moved across the way. Held at the line. That one took a very, very lucky bounce off Sean Lappin's skate. Was held in momentarily, but State's got it. All the way back down low. Lappin. Over for Baca, who's going to end up having to keep it. He slashed at, moved up. Into the zone they go. White works his way through, loses it momentarily. Couple of stick lifts down low. No penalties called. All is legal for right now. You get the feeling everybody wants to get out of here. Banashevitz works his way through. He's taken down on the play. No call again. Finally, we have a whistle down low. And I believe this is going to be called a hand pass. Yep, it is. Face off outside, and now some pushing and shoving down by the Charlotte bench. Officials will separate everyone. This is going to be another round of matching minors. Jimenez will... Nope, this may just go against Usinger. Nope, they are going to bring Jimenez back. Into the box he goes. Matching minors will go 4-on-4.
A plethora of infractions tonight.
Well, the four horsemen are going to be Fredenberg, Blue, Kren, and Bly for the Wolfpack with 3:04 to go. As the penalties keep mounting up. Downstairs, George Washington is dressed and ready, preparing for their battle against the number 6 Duke Blue Devils. Duke really the surprise team of the year. Hallman makes the save on the shot from Fredenberg. Duke did not make the tournament last year and has come all the way back this season to the point that they are highly competitive once again, led by the goaltending of Nick Bear and the offense of Travis Buck. They could give George Washington a run for their money. If they win that game, that'll be NC State's opponent tomorrow. As it stands right now, if George Washington wins that hockey game, North Carolina would have to play their arch rival NC State. Move forward, offside, shot on. I'm going to guess they're going to show a little bit of lenience with Philip Arnold because he was already in the process of shooting that puck. Normally you see that shot after a whistle, and that is unsportsmanlike or delay of game. Backhanded into the zone. Mike Kren going after it. He's got it. Backhands it across on the D-to-D pass for Bly. They'll try to move it up a little further. Charlotte's got it. Working in towards center. Shot goes wide. Nelson out, tending to the goalpost. Quickly up and ahead. Blue. He's run into. Taken out wide. Dumped in by the Niners with 2 minutes to go in the hockey game. NC State, the number 1 seed, looking to advance in the tournament. Gilmartin works that one out wide. Aquila couldn't quite catch up to it. McDonald quickly ahead. Dumped all the way back by the Niners. You got to give credit to Charlotte. They have not given up this entire hockey game. And it has been well fought by green and gold. NC State has a little more depth of skill, though. Icing waved as NC State dumps it all the way back down the ice. Wolfpack just trying to clear some clock. Up the half wall here. Hacked at. Cook spins it back. Taken back. Takedown. Cook onto Marengo. Cook's going to get up, and they're going to call a penalty for it. That one's going to go against Marengo.
Yeah, shoved Cook down there and then proceeded to throw his stick. So it was a correct call there by the referees.
Well, it's only small potatoes at this point. Minute 9 to go in the third period. NC State will go 4-on-3 for the next 5 seconds, and then that'll convert to a 5-on-4. Marengo off for interference. And just hope that both teams are going to skate away to their locker rooms nicely and easily after a handshake. To the point for Simon Lecter. Winds up, passes across. 5-on-4 now. Quick stretch pass, ahead they go. Working in, shot on to Brian Nelson, who will hang on. NC State will advance tomorrow to play sometime between 5:30 and 6 p.m. If you want to know the exact start time of that game, you can follow us on Twitter at Wolfpack Sports. We'll have more information as it becomes available to us. Right now, they are slated to play their arch rival, the North Carolina Tar Heels, who are the 4 seed in this tournament. If Duke pulls an upset, then that is going to be the matchup you will see NC State and Duke. State has defeated both of those teams in the regular season. North Carolina by a count of 9-1. Duke by a count of 6-1 and 6-2. Dumped into the zone with 20 seconds remaining. Charlotte just trying to get it out to neutralize. Held in. NC State is about to escape the throws of the curveballs the officiating has thrown them and the Charlotte 49ers. Good stop by Holman, and he will prolong it for at least 3 seconds. But NC State will live for 2 more games in the ACC, and the quest for the Admirals Cup lives on in Charlottesville. Well, it's all formality at this point, but they're going to wave one of the Niners off because there is technically a power play for NC State. They might draw up one face-off play, but they won't. They're just going to waste the clock. NC State survives. They have defeated the Charlotte 49ers by a final count of 8-4, and they will play a couple more in Main Street Arena this weekend. Nick, it was a long game. It was a game marred by officiating that was not at its best, but nonetheless, it appears that the team with the most skill team-wide has won this hockey game.
Yes, as a fan of the game, it's great to see that the teams could overcome the unfortunate calls, barring both teams. It's great to see that the Wolfpack bounced back. They took control of the game. The stuff that they could control, they obviously cannot control the officiating, and they come out on top.
Well, it was a magnificent hockey game. 8 goals scored by the North Carolina State Wolfpack and another offensive performance. We'll have Mike Gazzillo and one of our players of the game from the Wolfpack winning side. Again, the final count here from Charlottesville is 8-4 in favor of the North Carolina State Wolfpack. Stay tuned for post-game interviews. You're watching NC State hockey and coverage of the ACCHL Admirals Cup Tournament on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack.
I'm Nick Sinopoli with head coach Mike Gazzillo following the 8-4 victory over the Charlotte 49ers. Now, Coach, before we get into the specifics of the game, what are your overall thoughts on the team's performance tonight?
I thought they played well. I mean, they did the things we asked them to do, and they fought through some adversity with the penalties, and they stayed together as a team, and I'm very happy with the way they played.
Now, You mentioned penalties. That was obviously a big part of the game. Drew and I could easily recognize that upstairs. What are your thoughts on the various penalties during the game? How did your team gain control back? Almost want to say fighting a game on two fronts.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we said between the second and third. We've got two enemies out there. We're playing against two teams, and you can't worry. You can't say anything to the refs because we don't need to get any more penalties. So we're going to have to keep our heads. And best thing we can do is just go out, stay focused. We have a job to do, and let's just stay with our job. And that's what they did.
Very good, very good. Now, let's talk a little bit about our player of the game coming up, Mr. Sam Banashevitz. What did you like What did you like from him tonight, scoring 3 goals, another hat trick?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we need from him. You know, he's a big part of the team, obviously, and, you know, getting MVP forward is awesome. And, you know, I'm real happy. I think he deserved it. He had like 69 points in the 22 games we played, so that's an incredible number. And, you know, the guys feed off of him, and when he's out and he's firing on all cylinders, everybody's right behind him. So, yeah, it was a great effort on his part, and he really rallied the team.
Now, looking forward to the semifinal round, you're either facing the Tar Heels or the Duke Blue Devils if they do defeat the George Washington Colonials. Can you talk a little bit about the game plan going into those games, 2 rivals? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we've played both teams during the regular season, and you know, you got to keep in mind that this is a whole new season. It's a 3-game, 1-weekend season. And, you know, those teams are as excited about being here and winning their first game. So it doesn't matter really who we play. We can't focus on what we've done. We just got to stick to our game plan. And if we play the next games like we played tonight, I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
Well, thank you very much, Coach. Coming up, we have the player of the game, Mr. Sam Banashevitz. You're here live with Wolfpack Sports TV, bringing you into the pack. I'm Nick Sinopoli here live with player of the game, Mr. Sam Banashevitz. Sam, talk a little bit about the game, all aspects of it. You know, I mean, that you had an incredible hat trick. Talk a little bit about that.
Really just had some good opportunities in front. The first one, I think Bieberdorf probably passed it to me behind the net, and I just got a good opportunity in front. The goalie wasn't even paying attention. He was still trying to pay attention to Bieberdorf on the other side, and he had no clue where it was, and I was just hoping the ref probably didn't call the whistle dead because I don't even know if they knew where the puck was the entire night. So just got a lucky bounce there. The second one, Louise found me on the back door and was able to get a good shot off. And the hat trick one, just spun around, just threw it on net, and kind of hoped for the best. It went off his glove and in. So just kind of some lucky bounces tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned the officiating tonight. Obviously, not the best tonight. How did you and the team bounce back between the second and the third? I understand that there were some frustrations on the bench. Drew and I could attest to that. How did you fire up the team and fire up yourself and get out there and control your own game?
Well, for one, we had to realize that we needed to focus more. I mean, you can't blame everything on the officials. You know, our penalty kill didn't look too hot. We gave up 3 penalty kill goals there. That's how they scored their 3. Actually, all 4, even in the third. But that is on ourselves. That's inexcusable. Granted, the officiating did help them out a lot of it. They shouldn't have had those opportunities. But at the same time, that those are things that are outside of our control, and we have to play the hands that were dealt. Tonight, we were able to, you know, come out, play strong in the third. Really had a talk in the locker room and said, hey, like, we have 2 options here. We can either let the refs get in our head, we can roll over and let Charlotte come back and win, or we can come out, get the first goal, and end up getting the first 3 and keep rolling. And that's what we did.
Yeah, very good adjustment between the second and third period. I noticed that. Now, looking forward, you're either going to face the Tar Heels or the Blue Devils if they do beat the George Washington Colonials. Which team would you rather face?
Personally, statistically, I would rather face the Blue Devils, but if the scenario were to come down to the Tar Heels, we'll be ready for them. I know a lot of revenge after last year, losing to them in the semifinals. So it'll make for a good story. With either team, you know, it'll be good to play against Travis on the Blue Devils or, you know, AJ on the Tar Heels. So either way, we'll be ready to go. We're not going to let anything get in our way this time. Not this year. This is ours.
Either way, a rivalry is coming up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here first. Mr. Sam Banashevitz with the incredible hat trick tonight.
Nothing really else to say. I'm Nick Sinopoli with Wolfpack Sports TV following the NC State Wolfpack's 8-4 loss over the UNC Charlotte 49ers.
Whoa.
I mean,
We
UNC
won.
win.
We
I'm
won.
sorry. Yeah. Didn't lost on the officiating side. Let me go with that,
there we
right?
go. That's good.
All right. Thank you for listening, and please tune in tomorrow when the NC State Wolfpack either take on the Duke Blue Devils or the UNC Chapel Hill Tar Heels. This is Wolfpack Sports TV, bringing you into the pack.